Hi everyone, my name is Swapnil Pawar. I'm working as a software architect at SGS Digital. Today we are going to learn about Amazon Connect 101. Now this is going to be the basic understanding of Amazon Connect, what are the core components and how you can actually use this service in AWS. Before moving further, a little about me. I'm holding a few AWS certifications as you see on the screen. I'm a developer associate certified. I'm a solution architect associate and a cloud practitioner, and few more lined up in this coming year. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. There's a LinkedIn handler down there. Now, before we move, I would like to give a little background of the contact center. So, Amazon Connect is actually a contact center as a service launched by AWS. Now, if you look at the traditional contact center, they must be closely integrated into the core business operations within an organization that manages the customer interaction. And traditionally, a contact center receives requests only by phone, email, and potentially chat. Now, the new modern contact center needs to handle inbound and outbound customer communications over multiple channels such as telephone, web, chat, email, social media, messaging apps, as well as the traditional email. And obviously, this new modern call centers typically use different types of advanced technology, which resolves the customer issues quickly. Obviously, we can track customer engagements, we can capture interaction, we can perform performance data, and a lot of other things that we can do with this new advanced technology. Now, since many of the companies are seeing rising cost with the traditional contact center, and obviously with the lack of true innovation as call center solutions that aren't fully utilized, and that's where Amazon Connect comes in picture, which is which is a cloud contact center as a service launched by AWS that manages the customer interaction. And unlike a contact center, which basically receives requests only by telephone, uh, this Amazon Connect's contact center handles inbound and outbound customer communication over multiple channels. And obviously, with this advanced technology, that will help companies to resolve customer issues quickly and to track customer engagements and capture traction. So let's move ahead and let's see what our agenda today. So we're gonna look at a couple of things. We're gonna see how you can set up cloud contact center using Amazon Connect, how you're gonna launch the Amazon Connect instance, how you're gonna store your call data using Amazon S3, how you're gonna configure the contact center using Amazon Connect, and the last, you're gonna design the interactive voice response system using a graphical editor in Amazon Connect. And each of this section has individual lab. We're gonna go into detail in the AWS console how you can configure each section in detail. So let's understand what is Amazon Connect. Now, Amazon Connect is an easy to use cloud-based ML-powered omnichannel contact center service that helps companies of any size deliver superior customer service at lower cost. It's an open platform that can integrate with other enterprise applications like Salesforce, Zendesk for CRM management or service desk management or ticket management. The best thing is Amazon Connect is built on the same contact center technology that Amazon uses to allow its customer support agents to conduct millions of customer conversations worldwide. What are the benefits of Amazon Connect? Now, if you compare it with the traditional contact center that organizations use, Amazon Connect helps you make the changes faster in minutes, not months. In traditional contact center, if you want to make changes, it's going to be setting up that resource from going through the process. So it takes a lot of time to establish that. Second important benefit is you can save up to 80% over a traditional contact center because with Amazon Connect, you do not have to manage any kind of on-premises inventory. You do not have to manage telephones, the cables and nothing like that. It's completely deployed in cloud and a managed service by AWS. And third and the most important thing is scalability. With Amazon Connect, you easily scale to meet unpredictable demand. So with no infrastructure to deploy or manage, you can scale your Amazon Connect contact center up and down. You can onboard up to tens of thousands of agents in response to business cycles. Pay only for the time callers interact with Amazon Connect, plus any associated telephony charges. So with this, you actually provide and define efficient and effective customer interactions in your for the customers. Now we're going to look at the Amazon Connect core components. There are more, but we're going to look at the specific core components. We're going to look at the telephony. We're going to look at the contact control panel, which is useful for agents to begin taking calls within a matter of minutes. The routing, the fourth one is queues, and we're going to look at the contact flows, which is basically a drag and drop editor, which allows you to create contact flows without any coding. Amazon Connect can integrate with a different category of services within AWS, from development to management to database to messaging. It also integrates with the machine learning services if you want to perform operations on the connect data that the call center produces. We can leverage AI services. We can perform analytics with the analytics category of services like Athena and Glue. We can store the data into S3, and we can obviously provide the security by integrating with IAM and a directory service. So we're gonna look at it how some of the components can be integrated with Amazon Connect later in the slides, but this is the overall picture that you can leverage Connect with a lot of different services within this AWS ecosystem. Let's look at a sample case study. This is basically a comparison why Amazon Connect is a better choice to set up your contact center. Assume you are a courier delivery company. You have been using AWS to power your online presence since launching several years ago. Now, with different services offering, online sales have grown steadily along with the needs to better engage business outcomes. Now, currently, you rely on email to communicate with customers, and this solution has cumbersome, non-productive, and inefficient. Now, with the global customer base, you decide to employ third-party call center agencies in the different regions of the world to serve your customers, to communicate with the customer. Now, what are the challenges that you will face? Now, you are using an outdated contact center solution that integrates with your phone system at company headquarters. And since you are employing different partners in three different regions, the manageability becomes an overhead. And concerns are rising over increasing cost. You are actually paying a licensing fee per agent, along with ongoing upgrade cycles to data center hardware. The third party solution has significant challenges for integration with existing AWS services. And solution is the Amazon Connect. There are no upfront payments, there are no long term commitments, there are no infrastructure to manage with Amazon Connect. You pay only for the time your customers are connected to the service and the telephony used. So before setting up Amazon Connect instance, you need to take care of few things. First thing, you have to allow an IAM user to create an instance. You need to make sure that they have the permissions, Amazon Connect full access policy attached to it. Second thing is, when you create an instance, you must decide how you want to manage users, because you can't change the identity management option after you create the instance. What do I mean by that? You will see in the demo in a short time. So let's go ahead and look at how you can set up an Amazon Connect instance. The first step in setting up Amazon Connect Contact Center is to create a virtual contact center instance. The instance contains all of the resources and settings related to your contact center. You specify where voice recordings, chat transcripts are stored, and how you plan to manage your user accounts and the other aspects of contact center. So in this section, you will learn how to create an Amazon Connect instance in 5 simple steps. And what are those steps? Here are the steps. First step is you need to select identity management for your contact center. Second, who will be the administrator who gonna manage your contact center? Telephony options you want to configure, where you want to store call data and the transcripts and the review and create all the configuration to verify. Once you verify it, view it, if everything is fine, you click on a create button to launch a virtual contact center instance. That's very easy. So with that, let's head over to the demo and I'll show you how to set up Amazon Connect Contact Center in AWS. So here I'm in the AWS console. So once you log into our admin console, you click on the services. If you want to search for it, search for business applications, and there you can see Amazon Connect. Click on the Amazon Connect. This is the Amazon Connect service page. Click on the Create Instance button. So as we saw, there are 5 different them. If you look at the left-hand side, there's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and step 5. So let's go through one by one. The first thing you do is you set the identity. Now there are 3 different options in identity management. You store users in Amazon Connect, you link it to an existing directory, or you use a SAML 2.0 based authentication. Now with the first option, you choose this option if you want to create and manage user accounts within Amazon Connect. When you manage users in Amazon Connect, the username and password for each user is specific to Amazon Connect. Users must remember a separate username and password to log in to the Amazon Connect. The second option is link to existing directory. Choose this option to use an existing directory. The directory must be associated with your account, set up in AWS Directory Service, and active in the region where you create the instance. For this option, prepare your directory before creating your Amazon Connect instance. And in the drop down, you will see the active directories. This is my existing directory. If you want to create, you can create one and it will appear in the drop down here. And the last option is SAML 2.0. Choose this option to use your existing network identity provider to federate users with Amazon Connect. Users can only log in to Amazon Connect via link configured through your identity provider. So first, configure your SAML environment before creating your Amazon Connect instance. And you can whatever instance allies you want to keep it. I'm going to keep it simple. It's a demo 2022. So once you set the option, I'm gonna use SAML 2.0, but for this demo, I'm gonna store users in Amazon Connect option. Click on next. The instances are very important. Demo 2022. That's going to be a custom URL for your Amazon Connect, and you are going to use this URL to log in to your uh, uh, contact center instance. So click on next. The second option is add an administrator. Do you want to specify any administrator? You can put the first name, last name, password, and email. . I'm putting my name. I'm entering password and my test email. If you do not want to add any administrator, you can select the no administrator option. Click on next. Any follow option. How you want your contact center to perform, whether you want to allow ingoing calls or outgoing calls. So I'm going to keep the default setting as it is. In step 4, this is the data storage where we talked about where you want to store your call recordings, scheduled reports, and chat transcripts in the S3 bucket. So this is the bucket that will be created for you by the Amazon Connect. Keep the default option. We're not going to into detail into it. Yeah, and the CloudTalk Flow logs. So CloudWatch logs group will be created by this slash AWS slash connect slash demo 2022, and you can see all the contact flow logs there. So click next, and here is the review and create screen where you can validate what you have added in identity, in administrator, in telephony options, in data storage. And you can click create instance after verifying it. And you can see the progress on top. It's going to take a few times. So I'm going to pause this video and come back when it's done. So our Amazon Connect virtual contact center instance is ready. You can see its success. It has been created. You can either click on the get started or you can click on the instance live here. To access Amazon Connect, you have two options. Whether you can obviously access this URL, which is specific to your virtual instance, or you can log in to the emergency access, which log in as the administrator. So I'm using emergency access. I'll show you how you can log in using the URL as well. So here you landed to. So the permission is basically fetching from the IAM user that I have. So since I am an administrator in IAM, the same permissions will be used in order to log in as an emergency access. So I'm gonna log out of this and I'm gonna click the access URL if agent want to access this. So you click on the link, it will show up a login screen. And since I have created myself as an admin, I'm gonna put my username and password. I'm gonna sign in. And here you see we are landed to the Amazon Connect instance console where you can manage all the configuration of the Amazon Connect instance. Now, somebody might say that how do I customize my storage options for my instance? So when you click on your instance alive on the left hand side, you see a lot of options pertaining to your virtual instance. So in the overview section, you see the access information, you see the service linked role that is associated. Then we have the telephony settings, whether you want to receive inbound and out, want to make outbound calls, and data storage. Now, how can you customize the storage options of your instance? Is it possible? Yes. Now, when creating the Amazon Connect instance, you saw the default bucket that has been created by Amazon Connect, but you have the privilege to uh, to customize that option. So click on the data storage on the left hand side. And for example, if you want to change the call recordings S3 bucket, click on the edit button. If you want to create a new S3 bucket, you can click on it and give it another name. If you want to select existing one, you can always do that here. And the prefix where you want to keep it any specific folder. Also, whatever data that is gonna stored into the S3 bucket will be encrypted using the Amazon KMS, and you can select the KMS key that you have in your account that you have created using the KMS console. Similarly, if I cancel this, if I want to change the transcript storage bucket location, I can do that as well similarly. And obviously the encryption is very important part, so that you should not disclose the data to anyone. So it should be encrypted at rest with the KMS key. Then we have exported reports where you want to export the report. So similar configuration. And it's important to note that you should enable encryption. It's a recommended option. So now that you have created an instance, you will have access to the Connect dashboard. The dashboard will allow you to configure your Amazon Connect instance to meet your requirements. So now let's move ahead to the next section where we talk in detail about the user interface of the Connect dashboard and other uh, features. So let's look at uh, contact control panel requirement. But before that, what is CCP? Now we saw uh, there will be agents who's gonna take the call uh, and communicate with the customers. So for specifically agents, you wanna use the contact center control panel to communicate with the customers. And but before agents can access the CCP and uh, uh, handle contacts, there are few requirements. There are browser requirement, network requirement, memory requirement, and processor requirement. So the latest three versions of Google Chrome and Firefox are supported. Uh, Microsoft Internet Explorer is not supported. 100 KB bandwidth per connected workstation. So agent machine is considered as a workstation. So minimum of 100 kilobytes per second bandwidth is important. 2 gigabytes of RAM is required and 2 gigahertz of processor is required. Because CCP is built to handle high levels of jitter and high latency environments. So the architecture of the workstation that agent use and the location and environment in which they contact can impact the quality of experience. So let's go to the demo too, and I'll walk you through how agents can use CCP to make chat and contact with customers. Let's head over to the AWS console. Now, when you go to a Amazon Connect console, you see this access URL. So agents will access this URL. We just saw previously how you can log in using the Connect credentials. So since I'm already logged in as an admin, so I'm showing you, but so consider this as an agent. I'm considering myself an agent because admin Connect administrator will have all the privileges. So now once you land it to the Connect dashboard, on the top right, you see a phone icon there. And if you hover over to it, you can see a contact control panel label comes. If you click on that, a pop-up will open up. So pop-up will open like this. Let me expand a little bit. And this is we called as a CCP panel. I'm logged in as an agent. My status is offline. I can go change to available. Here is a calling option. You can see there's a chat where you can have 0 open chats, and these are the tasks. What is task? We're gonna look at shortly. And these are the settings basically, whether it is a soft phone type or a desk phone type. If you want to log out, you can log out from here. And here is the number pad. If you want to make the outbound calls to the customer, you can do that. You can also use quick connects. Basically, what is all these concepts? We're gonna look at shortly. But this is how CCP panel looks. So before you move further, I would like to explain more little about the core concepts. Now in the CCP panel, you saw quick connect, you saw tasks, you saw chat. Okay, so what are these core components? What does it mean? Now telephony. Let's go with telephony. Obviously, as the name indicates, it provides a variety of choices to enable your company to make and receive telephone calls. One of the great advantages of Amazon Connect is AWS manages telephony infrastructure for you, like carrier connections, redundancy, routing, and it's designed to scale. Connect provides you capabilities to host both toll free and direct dial numbers in all AWS regions supported by Amazon Connect. And you can use both type of numbers in a single instance. In addition to the Amazon Connect service being spread across multiple availability zones, AWS also has multiple telephony providers as well. The next is CCP panel. You saw it's a CCP panel is a application used by agents to communicate with the customers. Routing. Now, what is routing? Routing profile determines what types of contacts an agent can receive and routing priority. So each agent is assigned to one routing profile. A routing profile can have multiple agents assigned to it. We're going to look shortly into the configuration demo. So hold on to that, but get the concepts clear in your mind. Amazon Connect uses routing profiles to allow you to manage your contact center at scale. To quickly change what a group of agents does, you only need to make an update in one place. That's routing profile. And when you create Amazon Connect instance, you get a default routing profile. That's a basic routing profile along with the default contact flow and the default queue. With that being said, what is queue? Okay. There are two types of queues in Amazon Connect: standard queue and agent queue. What is standard queue? Standard queue is where contacts wait before they are routed to and accepted by agents. Agent queues, these are queues created automatically when you add an agent to your contact center. Basically, when you create a user and assign a profile to the user as an agent, that's where this agent queue is been created automatically. So contacts are only routed to agent queues when explicitly sent there as part of the contact flow. Contacts waiting in agent queues are higher priority than contacts waiting in standard queues. Contacts in agent queues have the highest priority and zero delay. Don't if you don't get if you get confused by this concept, as I said, we're gonna look at in the console, and I'm gonna share a documentation link to go through in detail. Next concept is contact flows. Now, what is contact flows? Contact flow defines how a customer experiences your contact center from start to finish. At the most basic level, contact flows enable you to customize your IVR system. Now, in the first part, you saw how to create an Amazon Connect instance. You understood the core concept. Now it's time to go to actually configure the Amazon Connect instance and make changes in Connect settings like telephony, assign numbers, streaming, reporting, etc., etc. So in the next coming lesson, you will learn how to configure Amazon Connect instance. And here you can see the configuration steps. You explore your channels of communication. Every contact center works within a business hour, whether it's a 24 by 7 or within the 9 to 6. You can set that. You can create queues. You can create prompts. You can create contact flows. You can create routing profiles. You can configure users. If you remember, when we created Amazon Connect virtual instance, we selected an option to store users in Amazon Connect itself. So that's where this configure users section will come in. And these are the individual components that we have to set up. And once you set this, you are good to go. So let's head over to our Amazon Virtual Connect instance dashboard and see how you can configure each of these uh, uh, Connect components. Let's head over to AWS console. So here we are in the virtual instance dashboard. As soon as you log in, you landed to the dashboard page where you can see explore the channels of communication. You can set up hours of operation. Those steps that we saw are exactly 7 steps that you need to configure it basically to make your contact center work. I'm going to walk you through a few options. On the left hand side, there are a few icons. The first is a dashboard. Second is metrics and quality. We will get to see real-time metrics, the historical metrics. You can see the login and logout report of the agents. You can search for the older contacts that has been uh, taken care by the agent who has performed the calls. Then we have rules, basically how you want to uh, how you want to conditionally add it basically to take actions based on the updates or events in external applications. So you can create rules. Then we have routing. We saw the what is routing is all about. There are phone numbers, contact flows, queues, hour operation, and quick connects. Okay. Now, what is quick connects? Yeah. Quick connects are a way for you to create a list of destinations for common transfers. So let me give an example. Let's say you contacted to the customer care number, and that agent who connected to you uh, is part of tier 1 support and which he can't solve the issue. So he might transfer your call to tier 2 to resolve it. And he can do that with the help of Quick Connect. So he can transfer your call direct to another agent, which is a tier 2 support level, and you can resolve the issue. So let's go to dashboard. Let's go one by one. Now let's first explore the channels of communication. And with to do that, we have to claim the number. So you can click on the begin. It will land it to the claim phone number section. As we discussed, there are two types. There are toll-free and the direct inward calling. You can claim both, which country you belong to. Okay? Since Amazon Connect is not available in India, I won't be able to uh, claim the number. So for demo, I'll select United States, and there are predefined set of numbers that you can uh, claim it. For example, I want to claim this. Click next and continue. Okay, we can click on the view phone numbers to see the claimed numbers, and by default, it will map to the contact flow that is default predefined contact flow by Amazon Connect is sample inbound flow. So let's head over to dashboard. Now, once you explore your channels of communication, next is you're gonna set up the hours of operation basically. And you can click on the view hours of operation. By default, there are basic hours which is created when you launch the instance. You can add new hours. We can enter the name. For example, you have Black Friday hours. Enter the description. And if you want to be operational only on the weekdays, you can select it. If you want to keep operations open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you can do that. Important thing is you need to select the time zone here. Now I'm gonna select America Chicago time zone, and that will be operational for 5 days. I'm gonna click save. And it's done. You can go here on the dashboard again, view hours of operation. You can see Black Friday hours is created. And since this is created, we haven't assigned with any of the queue. Okay. Third is creating queue, right? What is queue? Basically, it allows contacts to be routed to the best agents to service them with different priorities. So let's click on view queues. You can also go through this routing and queues section to select the queue. So as I said, basic queue is created by default. If you want to disable it, you can disable by clicking on this switch button here. If you want to add a new queue, click on the new queue, enter the name like F and which hours of operation that you want to assign to this queue. Since Black Friday hours that we have created, if you want outbound caller ID that agent should be being able to call it, you can do that outbound caller ID name and all those things. Quick connect, as we saw, if you want to uh, transfer it to another agent or to different tier, you can also uh, mm, provide a quick connect for this queue. Once you do that, click add new queue, and the queue has been added. Now the next part is routing profiles. As we discussed, each agent is assigned to one routing profile, but one routing profile can have multiple agents assigned to it. So let's create a new routing profile. We can go here from the same routing menu. Sorry, not the routing menu. Here in the user section and the routing profiles. And add new profile. You can enter the name of the routing profile and which channels and concurrency you want to set. For example, for Black Friday, you want agents to communicate with customers only by chat. You can do the chat. If you want to do voice and chat, you can do that. And there is an option called task. Now, what is task basically? Tasks allows you to prioritize, assign, and track, even automate tasks across the disparate tools agents use to support customers. So basically, uh, to give an example, let's say agent wants to follow up on a customer issues. He can follow up with the customer via call, or he can follow up on customer issues recorded in a CRM solution, such as Salesforce, or he can complete actions in a business specific system, such as processing a customer claim in insurance application. So it's a unit of work that agent must complete. So you can set the number how many maximum task agent can handle. For now, I'm going to use voice and chat, and the queue that has to be associated with this routing profile. I'm going to select this, and for this queue, I'm going to use voice. The default outbound queue if you want it, otherwise not required. This is basically when an outbound call is placed by an agent, the queue must be associated. Okay? How this is useful? It is useful in the contact flow that we're going to see shortly here. And once you add all those details, just put the description, same description, click add queue, and outbound queue is required. So we're going to select basic queue for the outbound queue to make an outbound call and add new profile. So routing profile is also ready. Let's go to dashboard to see what all things we finish up. We finish queues, we finish routing profile and prompts. Now, what are prompts? Prompts are basically media that can be used to play back audio to customers. So it's kind of a pre-recorded file. So if you remember, if you call to the contact center and any contact center, like say Flipkart or Amazon, you hear some initial tone. That's a pre-recorded file uh, that will be played when you call to it. Okay. So routing profile we created. Now contact flows. Okay. How to create contact flows? Just create on the contact flows. You can also do it from this routing and click on the contact flows. And these are the default contact flows created when you launch the virtual connect instance. So if you see the type, this is transfer to agent. Okay. Then different types of contact flows. If you want to transfer to a different queue from basic queue to Black Friday queue, you can use this contact flow. And look at the category of contact flow. This is the main contact flow that we're gonna create it and associate it with a claimed number. So whenever a customer calls on that number, the specific contact flow will execute. Now, if you remember, when we claim the number, a sample inbound flow has been associated with that number. So this is the flow that has been associated. What this flow is, if you want to explore it, click on the name of that sample inbound flow. It will take you to the editor. Okay. The left side section we call it, that is interact set. These are the contact blocks. And the right side we call it as a contact template basically. And this is a drag and drop feature. So this flow defines how your customer will go through the entire process when he connects to your contact center, how it will be traversed to end the entire flow. For example, if you want to play a prompt, welcome, for example, welcome to this, okay? You will be connect, and they say it like press one for English, press two for English. That's basically the play prompt, and you know, get customer input. Like when you say press one for English, if customer presses one, that's basically get customer input, where you're gonna record the customer input and take the action based on the choice they made. So these are the customer block. I'm not gonna go into detail, but this is kind of something that you will create by drag and drop from this contact block on the left hand side. There are two options: save. Once you save it, you cannot associate with the claimed number. If you want to associate a contact with the claimed number, you have to publish it. Now this default contact flow is published. So you click on publish and contact flow publish successfully. So that way you can create the contact flow. So that's about the contact flow. And if you want to add users, basically agents in your contact center, there is a icon users, second last icon. Click on the user management. And you can click on add new user if you want to. You can also upload bulk users using the template provided. We can download this, fill up the CSV file, and then import it. But here I'm going to create one single user. The login username will be the username that you will provide in the login page. The email address, password, the routing profile that you want to associate with this agent. As I said, it's associated with the agent. So each agent is assigned one routing profile. Security profile is basically what kind of permission this user will have. Since we're adding this user as an agent, I'm going to assign them agent permissions. An agent has only permissions to access the CCP panel. He won't have access to any of the dashboard and the connect related configuration. If you want this agent to auto accept the call, you can select the auto accept call, and you below down there's save button. You click on save, create users button, and you can see status done. If you want to create more users, you can do that. Else you click on back and you can see the new users have been popped up. Now, for example, let's say if your organization demands a different security profile, like management, operational, you go to the users menu. There's a security profiles section. You click on it. By default, Amazon Connect has created security profiles, admin, agent, call center manager, and for quality analyst. If you have any custom requirement of any security profile, you can click the new security profile, the name of the security profile, and you can assign the permissions that this security profile will have. For example, if you want this profile should only have a metrics and only to create a contact flow, then you can do that and you can save it. That's a new profile has been added, and you can assign this profile to the user. So let's head into our presentation and look for the next steps. So we saw how you can leverage contact flow, design your interactive voice system in Amazon Connect. It actually defines how a customer experiences your contact center from start to finish. And it determines a series of actual interactions with the user. So like you can show prompts to the user, you can get their inputs, and based on the input, you can behave differently and you can customize according to the user, and you can create a personalized experience for the user. So with Amazon Connect contact flows, you can create dynamic, personalized flows that interact with other AWS services. If you remember, we saw a whole bunch of categories of services that interacts with the Amazon Connect, from storage, from AI, from analytics, from security. And you can also invoke a Lambda function, which is a serverless compute to perform the backend operations. Also, you can integrate with the Amazon Lex, which is automatic speech recognition, which leverages the same technology as Amazon Alexa. So you can use these features along with the contact flows to build a virtual contact center in Amazon Connect. So today we learn about the basic Amazon Connect components and how you can configure each component to uh, to launch the virtual contact center in AWS. So thank you for joining with me today. Hope you learned about Amazon Connect, how it functions, and see you in the next video.